So hello everyone and welcome to EB Speaks. My name is Ibinabo Enebi, and just in case you're joining me for the first time and you're wondering what's this channel all about, well, my channel is about informing and educating people and informing, encouraging and educating people. And I do this by featuring everyday people like you and me and thought leaders and experts to share their stories and expertise, because I believe that our stories and experiences and shared expertise aren't just ours to tell, but they are content enough to share. Because I believe that collectively our stories and our experiences and even our expertise would serve as streetlights and survival kits for those who are coming behind us. So this month I'm beginning a series that I've titled Avoiding Later Life Crisis, and we're going to be talking about quite a few things. And today's topic is the first installment of the series, and it's titled Arranging Your Affairs. Now, to do justice to this topic is my friend Messi Edu. Messi?
Hello everyone.
Yeah, so let me just give let me just give a brief introduction. So she's a partner of Edu and Co Solicitors, and she practices commercial and corporate law. And she's a doting mother who enjoys a special friendship with her husband. And most especially, she is unapologetically a lover of Jesus Christ of the day. So Messi, thank you so much for taking your time out of your very busy schedule. In fact, I know that you're very busy today, and we just had to try to sneak ourselves in to do this. So I'm very appreciative, and I hope that we will just quickly run through.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. No need to introduce myself. She's done that already.
You're one of those friends that I learned from, and whenever I sit with you, right, I go away, with a higher level of wisdom and illumination. So it was one of those conversations that we had that inspired this series. Let me begin by asking you this question. And because we talked about it, we really did talk about it. So what are some of the later life crises, and how can we avoid them?
Good question. Well, there's a lot to talk about this, but we'll just try and streamline somewhere. And at the end of the day, I hope everybody, even if it's one thing anybody and everybody can run away with, I'll be glad. First and foremost, as we get older, we realize that our finances kind of slim out. So when we now start having slim finances, there's trouble. Because whether we like it or not, when we were younger, those were our active days and we were making money. But with age comes a lot of things, comes retirement. And some of us that are even working, we don't even have pension schemes, So when we have those slim finances, we have some kind of frictions as husband and wife, whether we like it or not. And another thing, we'll talk about how to go about the slim finances somewhat in a very short way. We can, no matter how late you start, you can always try and set aside some little monies from your earnings. Just keep them aside. You'll be shocked that in another 10 years, it will be so huge. And you'll be wondering, how did this come? So not to talk about those that are still young, that may be on this platform today, that will say, oh, I'm just 30. So if I have 30 years throwing money somewhere for another 30 years or for another 20 years, that will be huge. Yes, that will be huge. So if you earn 100 naira today, why will you want to spend the 100 naira today? Why? I'm asking why, because I really don't know why. You must spread your resources.
It's funny that you're a lawyer and you've been in this business for a very long time, and you're just going straight off to talking about finances. Is that one of the most difficult things that people experience?
It's very difficult.
It's the number one cause of later life crisis from your experience collectively, is it?
Yes. Because except we want to deceive ourselves that we tell ourselves that no, money cannot cause problem. No, it does. It does, especially when it's really getting slim. And don't forget, for some people, they've been very comfortable for a long time. So getting into a new stage takes them off, sweeps them off their feet immediately. So you now start seeing anger, some unresolved anger, some will not even speak out, but their body language, they get really easily irritated.
Is it between the spouses or just around the children?
No, today I'm talking of spouses first, because with children you can deal with your children. But when it's couples, how they forge ahead with their finances and how they relate when they're getting older is a problem. Do you ever wonder why some people still break up at 60? After being married for 24, 25 years?
It's very rampant.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Some of them got married at age 24, and they've been in that marriage for like forever. So you just see people just wake up 60, I'm tired. I'm not doing it. So there are a lot of unresolved issues, and with finances that people don't say. So, and it's when 50 hits you, you start thinking, oh, what have I done with all my years? So with finances is one of. Then at the end of the day, again, familiarity comes in too. When we get old, we get so emotional. Every little thing wants to really touch you.
You get ticked off easily.
Easily, really fast. What will normally not upset you will start, you just get upset easily. And when, as a woman, when you get to a particular age, your hormones start acting
raging
up because of menopause. So what most people do, they just go straight to the doctor. And some doctors, some gynecologists will also invite the husband. No, we need to also speak with you. This is what you're going to you deal with for another 10, because it depends. Some people's zone can even run as long as 10 years. Some people 5 years. And some women don't even know that they react to those hormonal changes. They just start misbehaving with the husband, the children. So some doctors will say, I will need to invite your husband, so that I will also need to educate your husband that you will have mood switches. Your mood will change. You can be very happy at this minute, and the next 5 minutes, you're very upset. And sometimes you cry easily. Those are just from your hormones. Your hormones are acting up. That's why some people, especially women abroad, they'll just say, no, they can't take it. They're going for HRT. They want to go for hormonal treatments. They can't just...
Hormonal imbalance treatment here.
Yes.
Hormonal correctional treatments.
Yes, but I really like, multivitamins, because they really also calm you down. They help you, good multivitamins. They help you.
I hear sage is very good, but this is not. But guys, this is not whatever suggestions we're making is just for advisory.
It's not. It's just advice.
Yeah, so you can just as well as contact your doctor.
Yeah. So I'll just run through the jotted points I put so that I can go straight to my main area. So unresolved bitterness and anger can also affect all those crises we have in our later life. Then the blame game starts from that age. Then different challenges for different stages. Then tailor your home according to your home, please. Don't tailor your home according to what you're seeing outside. Tailor your home according to your home. Then love.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Sorry, what do you mean tailor your home according to your home?
We all have different platforms that we operate from. The platform in my home is different from the platform in your home. How we started, how we've been managing our resources, how we've been handling life generally, how we've been dealing with our children. My platform might be different from yours, right? So tailor your home, your own home according to yours. Don't look at B and say, oh, B is like this, B is doing this. They've tailored theirs like that. If you want to learn one or two good things from B, house B, learn, but don't come and impose it in your home. Your home didn't start like that. So don't rock the foundation of your home. Then love and support, understanding and everything will really help us in those our ages. Because don't forget, we're no longer as active when we're also making money. Don't forget that. And I just jotted some things down that will just help us before I go into the legal bit on how we women, we should protect our properties and how we own properties jointly with our husband. Like I just put the points down so that people can just take home with those ones. Spread your money, be open with your finances as couples, be willing to help out as a woman, be responsible for your future, because we are going to get to this future. And a lot of us now, we're already in this our future that we planned when we were in our 20s. Be responsible for your future. Don't spend everything you earn, because the day and the days when your productive years will come to an end will suffice and will surface. And it's already surfacing now. Tell you the truth, IB is in my very before. I can say it. I can already see it. Then enjoy the simple things of life. Husband and wife, laugh. The simple things of life, enjoy it. Jokes, just crack jokes and laugh. There's nothing wrong with organic growth. Be patient with yourself. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be patient with yourself.
Nothing wrong with organic growth.
Yeah, be patient with yourself. And while on a pensionable job, be planning your retirement job. Do not wait until you retire before you now start thinking of, oh, what do I want to do now? No. The moment you get that your job, start planning your retirement job, because then you will have everything you really need to support you. Then don't forget, when we retire, most times our spending is still high because our children are still in school. Bills, you must still pay your bills. So try not to live your life for the moment alone. Spread your resources. Give yourself a treat once in a while. I'm not saying don't give yourself a treat. We give ourselves a treat, but once in a while. You will enjoy a lot of treats later in life when you're done with so many things. No one knows what you are worth, so you need to always tell yourself the truth, because you know what you are worth. Some people will think you have money more than what you do not even have.
Yeah, perception.
Perception. So you know yourself personally, you know what you're worth. So be careful. Pay experts money so that they can also educate you properly when you want to go into investment in your later age. Pay. Don't just say, oh, I'm jumping into this. Pay experts so that you don't make mistakes. That is your last money, please. Your younger years are meant for you to build. You're building, you're gathering, you're building, you're gathering. Don't be extravagant, because you may not see those monies again like that. Some people may start really late. All is not lost. Consistency can help you get a very good future. All is not lost. Some people might start very late. Yeah.
See why I said that whenever I sit down with you, like I'm always Mercy, I know you're in a hurry, and but then I have taken down quite a few things. And one of the things that you said that really touched me was this: that there's nothing like growing organically, and be patient with yourself. And the things that and the way you started out the conversation, just like poof, you were very much interested in us having our finances together. You talked about growing, building our families in a way that is unique to us and not to copy other people. And you talked about perception, that you're saying that we should be true to ourselves, because a lot of people when they see you do certain things, they have this perception that probably you're a thousandaire, and you're able to package yourself very well, and people now view you as a millionaire, right? And then you want to now come and start behaving like a millionaire, whereas you're a thousandaire. So you're saying, get your head well screwed on your shoulder, and then be true to yourself. I'm going to ask you this question, and this question is actually a perfect segue to my next question, and which is the actual topic, and it's about how do we arrange our affairs in our later years. And of course, arranging our affairs also would impact on those that we leave behind. Some people find this conversation a bit morbid, but really, how do we arrange our affairs to avoid problems in the future?
Okay, I'll just go straight into it. And I want to talk on that legally, actually. I don't just want to state it like normal mere words.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, at this age, some of us will have properties. We'll have shares, we'll have investment, we'll have some few cash or a lot of cash, so to speak.
Yeah.
So before 1870, women were not allowed legally, especially because we use English law. We borrow English law, right? So then some members of parliament now created an act, Married Women Act, that will now enable Married Women Act 1870 and Married Women Act 1882 that will enable married women to own properties in their own name. You know, before the act, women were treated as properties that were acquired. So they could not, acquired by men, so they could not even own properties in their own name. This was before 1870, before the act came.
Is it their maiden name or their husband's name?
The women were treated like acquired properties. They could not own properties before this act, Married Women's Act of 1870 and 1882.
Okay, so the question I'm asking you is that, so before then, so after the act, women you said women could now own properties in their own name. So could it be their married names or their maiden names?
Married name, of course, they are married. Because this is, listen to the act I mentioned. I said Married Women Property Act. So it's married, yeah, that's the act. Okay, so that's the act.
Because some women, even though they are married, still keep their maiden names and still maintain their maiden identity as their legal identity. That's why I'm asking that.
So that their maiden identity is not married. So they are still answering, and they can buy property in whatever name they want to buy. But this act protects married women. They now have the right, because they look at them as properties. So they now have the right to buy property in their own name. It could be their own name. They could just buy it without even their husband. They could buy. But that is just it. You know, so most times people think, for me, I believe, I like that there's a principle they call jus accrescendi in law. It's an amazing principle. It's a survivorship kind of principle. It is, because some people, when they want to talk about will, they'll be like, they'll think, they're going to die. So they don't want to even talk about that wills, principle, right? In fact, it is the best. For me, it's better than wills. You can contest will. When a will can be contested, and it can take a very long time in court, you know. But you see, this jus accrescendi, it is, for me, it is the greatest. How does it work? So let me explain. And I always advise, I like all married couples to run with this particular principle. You know, how does it work? You know, couples can just come together and say, we have to own our properties together, jointly, everything we're owning, you know, jointly owned. So let me give an example. Let's say A is married to B, right? B dies. There's no need for letters of administration. There's no need for wills with this jus accrescendi kind of principle. You don't need it, because B will step into the shoes of A that died immediately. Nothing has happened. It's as if nothing happened, because both of you you jointly own it. This thing belongs to Mercy and Ivy. Those are the owners of the thing. And the moment one goes, the other steps in. Nothing happened. You can just go ahead as like nothing happened. So there is no need. There will be no need for we are going to contest one. No, that's the owner of the property. Do you get it?
Yes, but another question just comes to my mind.
Yeah.
Because I know that we don't really have time, so I want to really rush in there. Because somebody may be watching and saying, so I've been married for like 50 years or married for like 40 years. Yeah. And my husband had acquired some properties that my name wasn't.
Okay, don't jump the gun.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Okay, so because I just want them to know this first leg first, which is very important, you know, so that we'll clear the last leg. That's like the last leg, because you're married and it's over, it's bought property, so that's the last leg. So even with this leg, at least you can also have joint account. If you people, joint account comes up, you can also have anything you own, anything your husband you own together is for both of you. Once you are married under the act, you own everything together. So don't be scared. So if you want to run away, if you don't want the troubles and the rigors of letters of administration where they have, you know, you go through, you bring your husband's relative or your wife's relative to come and be part of the application and all those. If you want to avoid that, you can just do everything joint. You can jointly own things together. So that takes your spouse A or spouse B, whoever, from any trouble. Even will cannot even capture anything under this principle, because anything under this principle that will be captured under will is for the two of you. You own it. Both of you own it jointly. So your money, all the money's at bank. That's why you see some people today, some women today, their husband will just die today, and tomorrow they are looking for 10,000 naira. And the husband, there's lots of money. The husband is wealthy. But because the woman cannot access, the moment the man dies, the woman cannot even access his account, except there's a will, and it's going to be, if there's no will even, everything will fall under letters of administration, so they will apply to the court, they will get it, and eventually, but it is a process. So if you can avoid that process, use Acrescendi will help you. When everything is jointly owned. And for me, it is the best. You're just relaxed. You're just calm. Everything is just fine. So I will go to Ivy's question straight away now. So some of you might be saying, oh, it is too late. We bought properties 30 years ago, 20 years ago. It's too late. You can also repair that if you want by, redoing it, bring papers out, give your lawyers, they'll draw up agreements, merge everything, and make sure your name is, you get your name into it. But even if your husband or you guys don't want that, there's no problem. Like I will always tell women, because some women will say, oh, my husband will not want to do that. My husband will not even want to start all over and add my name, maybe add all sorts. You have no problem. But there's a but. Okay. If you do not marry under the act, the marriage act. Yeah. If you don't have a marriage certificate, if you do not marry under the act, if you do not marry under the act, if you do not have a legal marriage, that will not apply to you, because I am talking about those that have monogamous marriages now.
What do you mean legal? Is it church, traditional, or court?
Beautiful. It's good you're asking that question. Very sound question. So there are some churches in Nigeria that you can marry in those churches. I think, if I'm not wrong, maybe I don't want to quote any church here, but I think Catholic Church, I don't know if I'm right. There are some churches that once they join you, they transmit from the registry. So the certificate they are giving to you stands like a legal document. Yes, so that is fine. But there are loads of churches that certificate you run away with that day of your marriage is not a legal document. So you have to make sure that you ask the church. But if you want to save yourself that trauma, you can do your registry marriage yourself. Go to the registry. So that your document, your marriage certificate you're holding is a legal document. And it is a marriage known to law. It is a monogamous marriage, which is only for one man, one woman. And whenever I see that this our monogamous marriage, it takes my mind back to Matthew 19, 4-5, when Jesus Christ, and it takes my mind back also to Genesis 2. If you look at 14 down, when it says a man will leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife. This is the marriage. It is monogam, one man, one wife, right? Okay. So when you have that marriage and the husband or the wife or anybody dies, right? Let's say it is the man that is holding all the properties in his name, in his own name, and he dies. You are married to that man. Some women will think, oh, I do not have rights to this thing. Family will come and drive me out. You have rights. You are the person known to law. You are the only heir that can apply for letters of administration. You are the only heir that can set it up, that can start it. No relative. As long as you have that, your marriage certificate, you are married under the act. This is the law. It's just that a lot of people are actually ignorant about it. So they just think, oh, they didn't put my name in this. They didn't put my name in that. What if anything happens to my husband? Family will come. They will drive me. You are your husband's brother cannot go and, in Lagos, your husband's brother cannot go and start the process. Cannot go and apply to it. Is the only person, the only heir to this thing is the wife. One wife, monogamous marriage. So you will go and apply. You get your lawyer, so you and your lawyer will guide you in the application. So I want you to know that you have nothing to lose. as it relates to properties. And as long as you know where all the properties are, everything, so that they put everything together, then so even the bank account, any bank you know that he was using, even the accounts there, they'll bring everything under letters of administration.
So that's vice versa, both for the woman and for the man.
For the woman, but why I'm using the man in case the property is in the man's name. Because if the property is in the man's name and the woman dies, there's no need for, I don't know whether you understand that, you know, his name is the property is in his name, so there's really no problem about that. I don't know whether you understand.
Yeah, so, I understand it.
Yes. So the woman, so as a married woman, you have nothing to worry about. That my husband's name, my name is not in his property. I don't have accounts with him. You have nothing to worry about, because you're scared about what about upon if death comes. You have nothing to worry. Just go apply for it with your lawyer. You will go through the rigors now of letters of administration, which use a crescent I would have cured. Are you connecting the dots now?
I am connecting the dots.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about, assuming, for example, the woman loses her marriage certificate? Because a lot of women lose their marriage certificate. I mean,
I understand. You go get another. Your marriage is your marriage. The fact that the paper is missing, you go back to you get it. It's not a problem, and that's the lowest of the lowest problem. And it is also, and it is also very good. And there's something again that I know people do that and all that. When they marry you traditionally. Let's say you have a traditional marriage, right? And here it's good I'm even mentioning this. If you have a traditional marriage and they've not married you under the act, and your husband goes ahead. I'm not talking of inheritance now, because traditional marriage is not what I'm talking. I'm talking of marriage under the act now for you to acquire. So I'm just giving. I just want you to know another side of what women are going about. This is different now. So let's say a woman now, they've married you traditionally. Then your husband goes ahead and marries somebody else traditionally, and also marries that person, takes that person to court, does registry marriage and all that. Your marriage is the first in time. You will take your traditional marriage certificate to traditional courts. That other marriage, yes, that's what a lot of women don't even know. So that other marriage will be annulled, because traditionally,
even when it was done in court,
it is the traditional marriage, the first in time, that will count. So that marriage is gone to do in court is a nullity. And how does that work? First in time means the one that was done first. So that's, we have local courts, we have all these local courts. So that's where you will go to. So the marriages you will sue. That's where you will go to. So when you see people, they'll say, "Oh, they married me traditionally." Some women, you hear them, "Oh, I was married traditionally, but my husband is gone ahead to marry this person." No, is it not? It's in Nigeria, right? You will sort out all of those. You will sort out all of those.
Okay. So does a traditional marriage also give you an entitlement?
You have to get, that's why I said the Marriage Act. That's the legal Marriage Act. The Marriage Act, you will go to the registry. I just put that as an aside for those that have those kind of situation, that their husband went ahead. But this traditional marriage is the Marriage Act, the one under the law, that will take you, that makes you you're an heir. That's why abroad, you see how it works.
Yeah.
You see abroad, whether the wife was just sitting at home not working, if divorce comes, everything will be equal, will be shared properly, whether the woman worked for one day or not, because that is a marriage under the act. That's how the law. That's
Now, assuming dad is dead, mom is dead, and they have the children, and there was
no problem.
Then how would the children? Because this is all part of the conversation of avoiding later life crisis and arranging your affairs. What if the man or the parents are dead and the children are just the children left? How would they be able to access?
They are the next heir.
So will they get their parents' marriage certificates?
No, they don't need it, because the certificate is your certificate. It's for husband and wife. Do you understand? So now they will go to court. They will fight for, if there's no will, if there's will, fine. The will will come out. They will distribute things accordingly, because will is like the wishes of the testator. So if there's a will, no problem. But don't forget, children are nowadays they're contesting will. So if there's no will, it will fall under letters of administration. So they will file, they will apply for it. And do they
need a relative on both sides?
Mostly, if you get relative from one part, is fine. It's okay. They will bring all, and don't forget, lawyers will guide them. They are just to bring, lawyers will just be telling them, bring documents. So even to putting the properties together, because the lawyer does not even know where all your properties are. The children, that's why parents must let their children know where their stuffs are. Because some properties far-flung, some children may not even be aware. Some wives are not even aware of some bank accounts, they don't even know where their husband's monies are. So how do they even search? If some of them might be aware, oh, my husband has account in Zenith. So then that's good. They can now at least just know the bank. Let me start with that. You will get the accounts. Don't worry about that. But know the bank. Don't be, as wives, we should not be ignorant. We should know things. We should
but sometimes when you bring up those conversations, you know, it's morbid. Like, it's like, ooh, do you want to kill the wife or do you want to kill the husband? So sometimes people don't want to talk about it, because they're like, if you talk about it with a guy or you talk about it with a woman, it's as if to say,
you don't need to talk about it. But what I'm saying is that just living as husband and wife for so many years, you must know, your husband must know where your account, the bank you bank. You as a wife, you must know the banks, your husband, the banks that he is using. That's all I'm saying, nothing more.
What if he uses pseudonyms?
Oh, that means he's lost his money, and his inheritance is gone to nobody. The people might not find it, because you will not be able to know where it is, and it will not come under letters of administration, because
it's a pseudonym.
Yes, you can't. That means it's not even in his name. So in what capacity are you going to apply? It's not even in his name. You understand? So he's lost it. So that's why this education is good for everybody, so that your children can inherit stuff you've worked for. And you know, even when people are writing will, you must make sure that when you are writing that will, you're not coerced into it. You must also make sure that you are in your lucid state. There's no mental thing worrying you, because if that applies, the will be invalid anyway. So you must, all those things must be, a lawyer will guide you anyway if you want to write a will, because you can't even know the legal things Yes, but all you need is just to put your wishes down, and the lawyer will help you. And you cannot delegate your will, because those are your wishes. It is coming from you. You must put them down yourself. So you will put it down, then your lawyer will couch it, and you will read it, and you will say, oh, yes, you will know that these are my wishes, and all that. So don't forget, I must repeat, if anything, anybody will take home from here, I like the Jews accrescenda. It will take you out of letters of administration, the problem of letters of administration. It will take you out of the problem of will. You just live your lives, and life just continues like nothing absolutely happened.
Okay. Now, you know, we just went straight up into this conversation because we're like, we want to have a lot of things in, but I like to be like systematic. So assuming somebody is listening in today, and the person is saying, okay, so what are the steps? What steps would I take in arranging my affairs so as to avoid a later year life crisis? What would I do?
We talked about finances. We talked about menopause, that also people are tense, and you can't even make any, because sometimes when those things are happening, you can't think straight. And what do you need to think? How do you make money? Your thought processes must also be in place.
Yeah.
So all those things that are affecting us, then unresolved issues, we can't even sit together to plan how to even help, how to create wealth. We can't even sit together to discuss all those issues. So all those are the finance, all those are part of how you will think about. Yes. Then arranging your affairs legally that I've mentioned. I talked about the use accrescendi that you should also embrace. If you think about embracing that, then, well, if as a man or as a woman might also have a lot of properties, and she might also say, oh, I don't want to bring it on board. Don't forget, Your children, if it's your family members, if people don't know about it, because some women buy property and they hide it, they don't even keep the documents in their homes. They don't even, some women don't keep their documents in their homes. So at the end of the day, I like to be practical. You have just worked for nothing, because nobody's even aware that you have a property. So your children nobody's even aware. So that's why I mentioned, if you remember in my opening statement, I mentioned openness, because openness will link you to all this, your legal rights and arranging your affairs. You have to be open. You have to be open so that people can know.
But some people feel that, I'm talking about as a Nigerian person and a villager. Some people would say that when you open up yourself, some women don't even trust their husbands. Some husbands don't even trust their wives.
Then they are not in any. They're pretending. I'm sorry to say that. It's a pretend.
Some people don't trust each other.
It is a pretend.
And some parents also fear that if they tell their children everything, this king will go sell everything, finish.
Okay, that's it. You just made, you are a layman. So that your statement is kind of lay, in the sense that.
But that's what people think. That's why some people don't say, this one will kill me, go sell everything.
I think it's two different things you've just mentioned now in one breath. If you say they will kill me, that's a different thing. If you say the children will just go and sell, do they know where you kept the document?
You said we should be open.
I'm not talking of children, and I'm not talking of children and some people have notorious children. I'm sorry to say that.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry to say that.
I wanted us to talk about.
Some people have notorious children, and some people have notorious spouses.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted us to.
Anybody that will go to the extent of I will kill this person to sell property, that person is not normal. Is no longer normal, so to speak. Somebody you call your wife or somebody you call your husband, to the extent that the person will kill you just to acquire your property because you opened up to that person. My sister, you were never in any proper marriage. I'm sorry to put it. I'm hard and I'm harsh. That's the truth. So you have to open up. Your husband and wife, I must know everything my husband and I must know everything we have. Because that's the only way that can help me to arrange proper, this topic we are talking about. It will help you. You can't talk about this topic and not have openness. What do you want to arrange when you don't even know anything? Let's start from there. As a woman, you don't even know anything. You don't even know whether there's a house in London, in United Kingdom. You don't know whether there's a house in Cotonou. You don't even know whether there's a house in Lagos. You don't even know. So you don't even have any document. You don't have anything about him. So I want to ask you, throw it back to you. What do you even want to arrange as a woman now?
Okay, now that's important. That's important. And I'm sorry to cut you short because of time. Now, this brings me to the next question. Living abroad is different. Abroad has a different arrangement altogether. So they have the Marriage Act and they follow the Marriage Act. If there's a marriage and,
This topic, I'd be sorry to cut you short. This topic is not for those in organized situation in Western world.
I'm coming down to the African situation. A typical African man, old school African man, I'm not even talking about the young people, but it also happens in the younger people. Some men would have married in the church. Some men don't believe in, because listen, Messi, like in my culture, right? They will tell if like God marry in courts, if like God marry in church, if you have not married traditionally, that's my culture. The children don't, if the man hasn't married the woman traditionally, the children don't belong to the man. I'm just here. That's the difference. I'm talking of our lives. I'm building up the question to the point where I'm coming to. So there are some people, right, that see the traditional marriage as the most important form of marriage. So they don't have the court, they don't have the church, as the case may be. And then they have more than one wife. They have 3, 4 wives. So in those instances, how can such a person arrange his affairs? That's why I started. I said marriage under the Act is a monogamous marriage. Okay. You are the one that's the only marriage. This situation this scenario you've just created
does not fall under what we're talking about. So I'm going to take, so you cannot come, you have 4 wives, only traditional marriage, no marriage. Marriage under the act is a legal document. Is a marriage you marry, you have registered certificates, you have your marriage certificate. If you marry 4 wives, you don't have marriage, you can't have marriage certificate. You will not even marry normally in the courts because you don't want any of those. You don't even, it shows that one wife. So that's not what I'm talking about. These are marriages that, they are just, they have 4 wives, traditional marriage. They are not caught up with monogamous marriage. Monogamous is one man, one wife. You have your marriage certificate with monogamous marriage. So people like this that I know how they roll when they have this kind of marriage. They don't even sort out any affairs. They allow you, the children, the wives, all of you will sort out your affairs. So that's how most of them they go like that, because they cannot even arrange their affairs legally. And you cannot blame them because of how they are because of the foundation they already created. So
but can such a one have a will?
Yes, some of them create wills. Some of them create wills. They do. Wife A, wife B to their children, everything. And with those kind of situations, when they really create wills, it helps. And don't forget, under all these polygamous marriages, that's where you see children. I've even seen a marriage that is not even a polygamous marriage, that the children started, they contested the will. So, but in monogamous marriages, some of the children may be aggrieved and say, no, my dad will not do this. My dad will not do this. They will not be so up. They will not be happy with the way the dad gave the kind of gift they got. They'll just say, no, that's not my father's will. So they will contest. So problem will start from there and all that. But let me tell you, if they make a will and all the children, even if there are 20 or 30 children, and they say, well, if this will is my father's wishes, you will just share and everybody will go their separate ways. And that's arranging your affairs. So the man would have done well by using a will to cure what he started. So that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So Mercy, I just want to say, listen, we still have quite a few things that we haven't really mentioned.
But I can take one question more from you.
Okay,
I can take one question.
You can take one question more from me. And what is the question? There's some people now that do trusts. What do you think about trusts?
It's good.
And how is the trust different from a will?
Well, with the trust, it's so good. The trust is that, that's what the person created. And don't forget, most of them, when they have trust like that, they even state it in their wills too. And when it's all these banks, companies that handle trust even. So everything is there. What you're giving your children, everything is there, and they share equally. And that it's an institution. So trust is good. It's beautiful. It's also very good. So there's nothing that's very good.
Oh, fantastic, Mercy. Listen, I have to respect that you have to run, and I know so I know this is just for information purposes. But if there's anybody who's listened to this conversation and is interested in contacting you, then and how can they contact you?
Well, you can send them my email.
Okay, all right. I will do that.
At least when they contact you, so you just send them at least you have my email anyway.
Oh, perfect.
So that's fine by me.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Mercy. Listen, I'm very much aware that you're going for another meeting just right away. And I just want to say to everyone who's watched us today that I just want to say thank you so much. And listen, like I said earlier on, this episode starts our series on avoiding later life crisis. Next week, I have another very exciting episode, and I don't want you to miss it. And listen, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. It's Edu and Co. Thank you very much, and see you next time. And Mercy, I'll call you. And bye, everybody.
Bye.